Now under label happy feeling. There is also a happy ecstatic feeling in Mandarinum. It is described as a happy feeling. In Nux mostrata, it is described as a ludicrous feeling, and ludicrous meaning he find everything funny. In Cannabis indica, it is described as a heavenly feeling. So all these remedies with this clearness of perception produce state of happiness. Under the title, things seem strange. Another symptoms in the repertory is delusion, strange, familiar things seems. That means he goes to the well-known street, but he does not recognize them. You will see many clairvoyant remedy hears. In this state of intellect, this dreamy state, he feels as if all these things which he is familiar with look strange, funny or unfamiliar. This is the opposite of deja vu phenomena. In the deja vu phenomena, strange things seem familiar. This means, for example, that he goes to America to pick particular cities and particular street of the street at first time in his life, and he feels, I have seen this before, I have been here before. He is talking to somebody and feels that the conversation has happened earlier. The opposite is found in the Mandarinum. Something he knows, he thinks looks strange. This happen in the remedy that are given there, so it is not peculiar of Mandarinum but to the group of the clairvoyant remedy. Now on the title, time passed too slowly. One of the other symptoms that most of these remedies seem to feel is that time passed too slowly. Again, if you look in the repertory, you will see almost the same remedies are there. In this clairvoyant state of clear perception, thoughts happen so fast. They run into each other and so fast that each minute seems like an hour. Time passed too slowly. There are too many thoughts in too short a period. Too short a time with a clear perception. This is the opposite of the state of cocculus, where the person has no thoughts. He is just absorbed. Time passed too fast, but he does not know how it passed. These are opposite state, an active mind and the dull mind. An active mind has clear perception, too many thoughts all rushing in, and short space seems as if it were too long. Now under the label sense of duality. A sense of duality is a characteristic of this remedy. For example, the symptom sees double or more than one person is common to this remedy, like petroleum sees too many people in the bed. Madorinum and Staphylococcus have the feeling that somebody is behind him, while Thuja feels that someone is beside him. Almost all this remedy have the feeling as if there is someone beside them. The rubric is delusion sees people behind him or beside him. Now under the label common symptom of the clairvoyant remedy. These are the common symptom of group of the remedies that have a specific action on the intellect, producing an increased awareness of the perception. Mandarinum has all the symptoms of this group. Refer to these rubrics in the repertory and see how beautifully almost the same group of remedy comes through. How can differentiate these remedies from one another? If you start differentiating on this basis of intellectual symptom, you will end up nowhere. If you just look at the facts that the fellow lose the trade of conversation, he lose his way, he feels somebody is behind him, you will find almost the same remedy are there. Now under the label, the emotional concomitant will differentiate. The differentiating factor lies out in the common symptom of this group but in the concomitant, not lies in the common symptom of the group but in the concomitant. A remedy produces a certain action on the intellect which is common to other remedies, and it produces a certain action on the emotions. The action on the emotion is the concomitant to the action on the intellect. This will differentiate the remedies. Like a common mistake is made where selecting symptom of the mental state. There is a tendency on the part of the homeopath to take several expressions of the same basic symptoms means and the same parameters, and then of course he will find the same group of remedies coming through in repetitions. This is not correct. For example, if you are taking clairvoyance, it is not necessary to take the other symptoms in the patients associated with the clairvoyant state, means absent-minded, time passed too slowly, sense of duality. Instead, it is important to find the basic parameter from other spare or concomitant. And now under the label, emotions blend with the intellect. You will notice that the symptoms of the intellects and emotions blend easily. The way the action on the intellects blend with the action on emotion and produce a new symptom. A combination symptom is quite fantastic. Actually, the two symptoms exist individually, but they blend with each other to form a combination which is characteristic. In aconite, the tremendous fear of death is the emotions and clairvoyance is the intellectual symptom. They combine into the predict the time of death. This means two things: he has got the ability to predict and he has got the fear of death. Two separate symptoms come together into one which become the characteristic of the aconite. Let us study three other remedies in the way, namely phosphorus, cannabis and medorinum. In phosphorus, intimacy with the clairvoyance. Phosphorus has a clear perception. Everything seems strange and he can prophesy and feels things which others cannot feel. One strong emotion of phosphorus is amativeness, desire for intimacy, for a closeness with somebody else, feeling of intense sympathy. The difference between causticum and phosphorus is that causticum feels anxious for the others while phosphorus feels the anxiety of others. A causticum's mother say, "Oh, don't go, you will get ill." She is anxious for the child, anxiously cautious, but she does not understand the child's feeling. She feels something might happen to him. He might not come home. He might get killed. The train might run over him. All imaginations anxious for others, Whereas in phosphorus, feels the feeling of the other person and he expects the same from them. So in phosphorus, there is a feeling of intimacy, this feeling of closeness, tremendous love. When you combine clairvoyance with the feeling of intimacy, there will be a very strong feeling of love. When he is with somebody, he will feel waves pass between them. He will feel all the vibration and he will say, "Yes, I can feel intimacy, I can feel love. I know this person is feeling a lot for me." The air is electric with feeling. So the extrasensory perception, the clairvoyance of phosphorus is generally expressed as a feeling of tremendous intimacy. He may say, "I knew as soon as I walked into the room. The vibration was there between us, even though we had never met each other before." There is the desire to magnetize and magnetic waves travels. Another way the clairvoyance of the phosphorus is expressed is in the anxiety. He feels for another person. One of my colleagues for whom I prescribed phosphorus had the feeling 3 times that his father was having the heart attack, and each time within 1 hour of getting this feeling, he received a telephone call telling him that indeed his father had a heart attack. The kind of feeling for another person is very typical of the phosphorus. Now about cannabis indica, joy with clairvoyance. A strange emotion of cannabis indica is heavenly, ecstatic, pleasure. It is the most beautiful feeling in our materia medica. Ecstasy, it is known that the hallucinogen produce this ecstatic feeling. When the patient describes, she will talk and talk all about beauty. She looks at the shadow, this shadow falling here and this pattern on the wall, and the moment she looks at it, she imagines that it is a place and that these are the sculpture of the palace that can fan over. There is the canopy of the king and that is the throne. All of you here are the courtiers, and cannabis indica is right there in the middle, enjoying the whole thing, and there is songs and dance, and she is lost, completely absorbed in such a thoughts. This is the expression of the clairvoyance of the cannabis indica. One patient told me, "I just sit down and suddenly I am transported to the beautiful place with the tree, grass, lakes, mountain, and I am running up and I am going down. So ecstatic. Heavenly pleasure is an emotion associated with the clairvoyance and gives this kind of extrasensory feeling in cannabis indica." Now in medorinum fears misfortune. What is the emotional symptom of medorinum that is associated with the clairvoyance feeling? The emotion is fear of misfortune. If you read these symptoms in the synthetic repertory, you will see that the Madaram is the only remedy which is underlined by Dr. Pierce Kumit. It is not in the other book in this way, but I have seen it in my practice, and Pierce Kumit confirm it, so it must be true. Imagine how the clairvoyance and the fear of misfortune together produce the symptom, as if something is going to happen. I can feel it, I can get the vibration, I can feel something is going to happen. He is always anticipating and may have presentiment of the death. Alan Skinner gives the symptom, anticipating feels matter most sensitively before they occur, and many times correctly. Whether it is correct or not, it is a different matter, but the feeling is as if something is surely going to happen. A sensitive feeling, an internal feeling, and inexplicable sensations inside. This can also be seen in the synthetic repertory in the rubric prophesying disagreeable event, in which martyrdom is the only remedy listed. Now under label anticipated event, let us examine the rubric anticipation element from. Now this is not a component or a parameter, it is an effect of expression, and each remedy in this list appear in the rubric for a different reason. All these remedies have this type of anxiety. What I want to point out to you, as did with the rubric of clairvoyance, is that each of these remedies is different. We can take taking the 5 remedies, namely martyrdom, lycopodium, silesia, ambra, and asurinum. Martyrdom as a fear of misfortune. The feeling of martyrdom is feeling of apprehension, as if there is going to be some misfortune, something bad will happen, something evil, something very unfortunate happen. Children always like to go in a car, but this child says, "Father, don't drive fast. There will be an accident. The police will catch you and put you in a prison." It produces a tremendous anxiety before going to an examination. Martyrdom will feel that something will happen and on the way, and maybe the car will break down. When a time is set and he has to catch a bus or keep an appointment, he gets very tense. Fear as if something is going to happen, an alive fear, tremendous apprehension if a time is set. Under the title Physical Sign of Anxiety. The signs of martyrdom anxiety are classic. The first is restlessness of feet. The feet are in a constant motion. If he has to sit down, the 2 other remedies which share this are Rus toxicodendron and Zincum metallicum. Another sign is constant biting of the nails and are great nail biter. And third expression of the martyrdom anxiety is constant washing of the hands. It is obsessive compulsive behavior. Bite his nail, washes his hands, and shake his feet. Under subtitle Lycopodium, lack of confidence. In lycopodium, there is no fear of misfortune. It is an absent in the rubric, whereas martyrdom is present in 3 marks and is underlined. But lycopodium is present in 3 marks in the rubric cowardice. Lycopodium is not scared that some misfortune will happen, but he is scared that he will not be able to do the job. For example, he is not scared that the car will break down before examination, but that he will not able to do the examination properly. Lycopodium has the feeling that he will not be able to do a job. He lacks confidence, but characteristic of this is that once he start doing it, he regains the confidence, and then he goes through it with ease and comfort. Initial is very hesitations, and followed by the ease and comfort, and then he mastered the job. So lycopodium is scared that he will not be able to do something even though he has the capacity to do so. Now this important, even though he has to capacity to do, now this is important, he can do but he cannot do because of his lack of confidence. It is not that lycopodium is very capable person or intelligent one. There are stupid lycopodium and intelligent lycopodiums too. Capable lycopodiums and incapable lycopodiums both are having a state, but the symptom is he is scared that he will not be able to do what is capable of doing. Suppose he is a boy age 10, not a brilliant child at school, not very intelligent and not coming first, but he is capable of doing something just as everybody is capable. This child is capable, for example, of jumping from here to there, but he is scared that he will not able to jump. He is scared that he cannot do what he is capable of, whatever that may be. We are not saying that Lycopodium is great man and he is a great achiever. No, he can be great achiever or a small achiever, but he always fear about doing something. About doing something. If you push him, he will do it with ease and comfort. Matador is afraid of things that might happen to him from outside, and Lycopodium is afraid that he cannot do it. That he is incapable. Now on the level, Lycopodium deals in abstraction. This is the another difference in the intellectual symptom of Matador and Lycopodium, which is very prominent, and this is that Lycopodium has an increased ability to deal with the abstraction. In Clark and in the Allen's Encyclopedia, intellectual symptoms, the same is given, increased ability to deal in abstraction, whereas he mistakes between plums and pear. Says plums when he means pears. Instead of saying I ate a plum, he will say I ate a pear. So he makes mistake in ordinary everything, in ordinary and small things. However, he has increased ability to deal in abstractions, and abstraction is something which is derived from the facts, but is not a fact. Lycopodium has got easy ability to abstract from something. He will generalize very easily. He will look at many facts, and from those facts he can easily construct the theories. If you leave him in a share market, he will have a fantastic time, and he will tell you that this is the trend of the market and this is going to happen, and that is going to happen. He is very clever in making abstractions, but in ordinary everything he make mistake. Matador is the opposite. Matador has an inability for abstraction. So Matador can easily add up some figure, but Lycopodium will make mistake doing this, but has ability to logic like a geometry. If you ask him to analyze political situation of the country, he will analyze it well, but he will not remember the name of the politician.